Here with the placeholders itself it is not there, right? And GST PAN validations is also not there.
Yes.
After creating the wizard, so it will come with like this. We need to manually enter this placeholders. If it is a required, then you need to enter the required message. So, okay, here we need to give the placeholders. If it is a required, then you need to give the required message also. That's here. And so, if you have any validations like pin code, will have the maximum length, right? Maximum, it will be fixed. So, sometimes it will be 5. More than 6, it can't be, right? So you can give like this validations, how much length we have. And please maintain this thing. Like if you want to enter each and every letter, each and every word, first letter as a capital, then you have to maintain for whole application. Generally, we will give this like the first word as a capital and remaining will be small letter. Okay? So please maintain that practice. For GST, we have validations. It should not more than 15 digits. Okay, that is a pattern validation. So min and max length will be 15, and the pattern is it should not more, like this is the pattern for GST. You can give the regular expression here. And for pattern messages also, min and max length messages also, you can define here.
I'm not the placeholder, keep that caps GST, not small.
No.
So it's not at least, please enter valid GST simple, because that is fixed, right? We don't have minimum and max, right? So please enter valid GST. That makes sense. 15 length. Please enter 15. Please enter 15-digit GST number. Even digits, I think. Okay, messages can be changed.
Please enter the valid GST.
That's okay.
So we need to maintain this. If you are mentioning any min length, max length, or pattern, then please write that required messages also. Otherwise, it will give by default messages like minimum character should be entered. Please fill this being like that. It will give default messages. It will give. For the PAN also the same thing. This is the PAN expression. Okay. So these will be the required measurements. And for remaining also, for address too, I'm not giving any required message, so that's why I didn't give any required message. Setting. Select. Because it is we are selecting in drop down, we need to select the value, right? So that's why I have gave this performance. And also, please maintain this after giving address. Okay. Input like that, whatever the format. So these are the fields. In view form, we don't know. Yes. And also for IFSC code and account number, if you want to give any patterns and min and max lengths, then you can also give further the further space. This is a number field, right, from front end side. Just because of in data set, we have selected a text field for phone number, right? So that's why in front end side also you got this text field. So in this case, what you will do, either you need to give pattern or else just delete this field and drag and drop the number field. So min and max value. So phone number will have, right? If you take a text field, it will allow characters less, right? But we need only number. So in that case, either you need to give pattern or else you just drag and drop a number. So it will allow only numbers.
1 second, I sorry to interrupt you.
Sorry.
So team, for phone number field, we have one concept here. So in data set, we will use a text field type. So because it's a 10-digit number, right? The 10-digit number, if you keep as a number in data set, actually database won't consider that. So what we do when creating a phone number field in a data set, we will consider it as a text field type. And if you use the same text field type here, text field will allow characters and numbers both. But what we actually for phone number, we always only have only numbers. So in data set, it is a text field type. So to avoid this validations in form, we'll keep the phone number field type as a number field. So now if you keep number field, it won't allow in text values. For that reason, for always phone number field, it's a phone number, mobile number, whatever it is. In dataset, we'll keep that field type as text, and form we'll keep the field type as number. So keep this as note and follow this strictly. Not miss this. So in dataset, it's a text field type, and it come to form, it's a number field type. And it's
Okay,
always you have to keep that max validation 10 digit. This is fixed. So no one will tell you again.
Okay, sir.
okay, sir.
Continue, Maheshwar.
Okay. 10 digits will be enough, sir, or then I need to specify phone number.
Yeah, 10 digits enough. 10 digits only, right? Phone number.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt Maheshwari and Maheshana, but in one scenario, like whether if we have to give only that Indian based phone numbers,
It's
where the
okay.
number starts with 6 and 9, we have to choose that
See,
pattern.
we'll see. That's a different kind of thing. For every country, you have a different format. Let's follow for any format right now.
If
Why
you
we
have any specifications, then you can give the patterns. Okay, based on that pattern, that will be work. So I have already informed, if you want any specifications, then you can use that pattern with the regular expressions. Signature for the digital, for image upload, I am not using any required. And here there is only single image upload. It's okay, right, sir? Do I need to give this as a mandatory as well?
Maheshwari,
Yes, sir.
required is not an issue, but keep extensions. What extensions we have to allow for image field type?
Allow types.
Hmm.
Okay, sir. And here we can configure the min and max file size as well. If you didn't mention, then it will give by default. By default size it will give. Sir, this dimensions, sir.
It's not required.
Maheshwari.
Let it be Maheshwari for now, not an issue.
Okay.
It's not required now.
Okay.
Let's advance it. Let's go for now.
Okay. And for sometimes for the image field, if you are going to delete that image, then you need to, client will ask like, do you want to delete this image field? There is a confirmation message. If you want, then you please enable it. If you don't want, then disable this one. Okay? If you enable after uploading of that image while you are deleting, it will give you a confirmation. It will ask for the confirmation if you really want to delete it. So if you click on OK, then that image will be deleted. And again, you need to save. Just the image delete confirmation, it will ask. Okay. It won't affect in our data set. If it is already saved, then it won't delete in from that DB. You are saying something, because
Yeah, nothing Maheshwari. It's just for the dimensions. If you want to do the dimension, you can check the database. In the data set, I have mentioned its dimensions. I think it's around like 200 x 300.
okay. So as of now, we have given the alert types as a JPG, JPEG, and PNG. These files I am allowing here. and you can see these validations as well. Enter. So everything should be in red. If you are trying to add the character and phone number, it will not allow. So previously, if you give as a text field, then it will allow the characters. So now it will use only numbers. And also you can see that max and min validations as well. After entering of 10 digits, if you try to add the insert, if you try to add the extra numbers also, it won't allow. So here also you can see that name and address to field. I have given a placeholder, but I didn't keep it as a required. So that's why it is not validated. And for this one, we don't have any GST. One second, let me give that GST. So based on pattern validation, it is accepted. If you give one digit as a wrong also, it won't accept. So whatever the pattern we have given, based on that, it will accept. So here this is the validations for the GST and PAN as well. And here I have given for the required fields of inside of this bank details, but I didn't give bank details as a mandatory. If you didn't give bank details as a mandatory, even though if you didn't enter, then it won't take it as a required field, right? So and also make sure that if you have any list grids or any table fields, then instead of no records form, just give no bank details form. Okay. So instead of this, you can give that no bank details form. Like that you can. Sir? Sir, I think this global filter also is not working. Can you
No,
fix that?
Maheshwari. The global filter was not given in last session as we are almost out of time. I think
Okay.
please select a global filter in the list API manually. Yeah.
For the list object, it was there, right? In list API, it is selected, but for the front end side, it is not there. It is selected. It is not. So can I create with the customer data sets? In this page, validations is completed, sir. Okay. So in the last session, you have seen this company and company bank details and contact. For one company, we have many bank details and contact, many contacts. So this was done in the last session. So now I'm going to create a customer data set. For that customer data set, we have these fields. So let me create the data set. So data set name will be the customer. And what type it will be? Can anyone say? No.
Hello, Maheshwari. And you mean the freshers?
Yes.
Anyone among the freshers, can you tell me which one would be the type of the data set we need to create for customer? We need to select
Pavan,
for
can
customer.
you say which type of data set I need to select here? Type of data set.
Variable.
Sorry?
Variable.
Variable.
Why is it-
Can you please explain why?
In dataset లో ఫీల్డ్స్ మనం చేంజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు.
Sorry?
డేటాసెట్ లో లైక్ కాంటాక్ట్ కి నేమ్ అవి చేంజ్ అవుతుంటాయి.
Remaining people, can you agree with him? Can you please unmute yourself?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
The customer details is not fixed. Maybe it may be changed in the future. So for that reason, I think variable is the data set type.
Okay. I think Varlakshmi, you said the same, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have a doubt here. Why is it not transaction? Why is it variable, Varlakshmi?
Actually, I didn't know about that transactional. Only fixed and variable I know.
Do any of the seniors agree with it being variable, or is it transaction?
Maya sir?
Hmm.
Sir, is it variable or transaction?
Customer, right?
Yes. Sir.
It is going to frequently change, right?
Yes. Sir.
Let it be variable. So transaction means it's like it's very rare scenarios. It's not frequent change.
Hello.
My
Yes, sir.
Ganesh.
Yes, sir.
Transactional means we can say it will be changed very frequently. I can say on a hourly basis or a daily basis it will change. Customer means variable. We can say it can be modified or updated on a weekly or monthly basis or an yearly basis.
Okay.
It will be modified but very rare.
Okay.
I think
Example user profile. Customer is like a user, right?
Yes, sir.
How frequent you are updating your profiles?
Occasionally we will update.
That's why it is variable. Fixed means never deleted, never updated. 99.9% we won't update the data. Variable means I can say 80% of the time we won't update the data. 20% of the time we'll update the data. Transactional means almost 90% of the time we'll update the data.
Okay.
Team, hope you understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Generally, we won't update our profiles, right?
Yes,
That's
sir.
why I'm saying 20% of the time it will be updated.
Judges, sir, if we frequently add record to that table, will it be also considered, sir?
Sorry?
If we
So,
if we
it's
add
Yes,
straight
yes.
away, Megal. Megal,
Yes, yes.
One is straight away. If you are going to do frequent changes, it's a transaction. If you do occasional changes, it's a variable. If you won't do changes maximum time, means it's a transaction.
it's a fixed
Frequent changes, transaction. Occasional changes, variable.
variable.
We won't
No
do changes,
changes
but when it
means
cost means
fixed.
it's fixed. Fixed is like best example is master.
Okay, Mahesh.
One we always use for fixed is master. I think we won't use any another table for fixed. Generally in real time we use master data sets. We use fixed. The remaining it is variable and transaction. It depends on. We'll go max with transaction only. The variable will have very less.
Then according to the requirement here, the customer table will be transactional, Maheshwari.
Customer
Because
going to be added frequently.
yes, sir. Customer will be we have at least 2 or 3 customers that we need to add per day.
That's okay.
So here contact person in the sense the customer name. Correct, right?
Yes, Maheshwari.
So that's why I'm giving the name. So it is a text field and
Index, ma'am.
yes. So more than 50 it won't be. Okay. And then again the company name. Text field can give. So in this case, I can give just a company, right? Instead of company name.
Yeah. Relations, we won't give field names. We'll give you data set names only, right?
No, this is a text field, sir, not a relation.
That is not a
Then company
relation.
name. If it's not relation, we'll have to give the right name.
Okay. So address line 1. And this will be the text. And most of the people will give like this. Okay, don't give like this, please. For data set codes, please don't give 1 and 2 like digits.
Okay, ma'am.
Maheshwari,
Yes.
that address line 1, it is
It's the
supposed
text
to be
field
text
only.
field, Maheshwari.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Address line 1 will be a text field.
Text field, yes.
Text.
Yes, Maheshwari.
Okay.
As we have split the address in 2 parts, it is not necessary to give the text area.
Okay. So here we can only delete the soft delete.
You can also hard delete here, Maheshwari.
Here,
No. After soft deleting, you will get that field on the bottom. From there, you can hard delete it. That address line to already soft deleted it, right? There.
okay. That's 9.1. So at least can I give nothing? 100. How much size should I give here?
It won't cross more than 150 characters.
City. Can anyone say city? How much size it will take?
That's okay, Maheshwari. You can keep 255. City is it's not fixed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Keep 200, 255. That's not an issue.
So then we leave with the basic.
Yeah, give some number and move to next.
Here when I am giving the relation with one to many per country. Okay. For one customer, we have only one customer. Then target, I'm just giving the relation with customer with this data set. Customer data set itself, right? I'm going.
Maheshwari, as one country may have multiple customers, the label should be customers.
So country and the target it will be the customer. So if take your alpha.
So why you are given plural names for field name?
Sorry.
Why you had given plural names for fields? Customers.
Because in relation,
No, doesn't make it. So it should be always matched data set name. If your data set name is customers, we give customers. So if your data set name is customers, you just give customer only, not change. So when you refer this another data set, you should know that. So which data set it belongs to. If you give different name means you cannot identify easily.
okay, Maheshwari. Because in the last session, Jerry sir told that when we are having multiple, that should get that S with
Plural, yeah, plural name.
plural name. It's that's why I asked her to add it as customers.
Okay, then go with
Field name, right?
Don't follow.
Not the data set, right?
Field name.
Field name.
Database name, table name should be singular.
It's
previously.
Mahesh.
Yes, sir.
Jayesh. So actually we aren't following this plural names for field names even.
Yeah, that's what, right? Plural itself we are following for many relations.
No,
Single,
actually,
sir.
we aren't following this. We aren't following plural names even. No.
Okay.
Let's go with the new issues, not an issue. Better go with the singular names only to avoid confusions.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Mahesh, why singular?
So by seeing the dataset field name, you can identify that which dataset it belongs to. We following the same.
Yes, you can easily identify it by removing the. Yes, you identify the data set name.
Maybe yeah. As you said, it's meaningful. We haven't
Your
followed up
voice
to
is
now.
breaking.
Yes, it's not stable.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, up to now we haven't followed that. Maybe you suggested.
Hello. Is it for me or?
I can hear
This
you.
is okay, sir.
Mahesh and his voice is okay, sir.
Okay.
Continue, Maheshwari. I will let you know that what you know how to follow. We'll
Okay,
listen
sir.
and let you know.
Even, sir, I have doubt in this invoice currency. As per Megan said, it is a fraction fee, but you said that is a relation with currency fee. Which one should I take, sir?
Megal, what Barsa told to you?
Bharat sir told that the invoice amount after an invoice is generated, whatever that final amount will be there, that will be placed.
Doesn't matter what field type it is.
He said fraction, sir.
Then go with it.
Okay, sir. So in that case, that name is that okay? Invoice
Okay, no
currency.
issues. Not an issue.
Okay. So all the fields is created. So now data set is created. Here you can see the fields which we have created. So now I'm going to generate a page. For that in the inside of the application, I need to create a module. Sequence order will be second customer, right? We have given the answer. Create and then create a page. Application will be invoice generated, customer acknowledge, user will create from data source. Next, select the data set. Next, I just want it as a form as a pop-up. name, the company name, and address manual, and then to city, the country, payment, GST, PAN, and then invoice. Here, the way fields you have selected in the same pattern, it will be generated. If you open in the form, then which fields you have selected the first, then that pattern only it will be arranged. Okay. So form is done. And then this is the list, customer list. So it will be keys menu. It should not be default. And actually, customer sees it will created by accounts Miguel.
Yeah, it is created by account.
Okay, account it will be generated by the account. So in the list, I will show the name and then company name. Invoice, GST and PAN invoice. I have selected only these fields. I didn't select the address fields. And the name and then GST, PAN, invoice. Is there any conditions like only one? As of now, only one account is there, right? Sir, Mahesh sir?
Yes, Mahesh.
Sorry.
Sir, can I give this condition? Whoever created those customers only it should be displayed. Or else
Yeah.
now can I skip?
Yeah, no, good. No issues.
Okay. So here accounts role will be generated, will create customers. So for that, based on that, we have many accounts, right? So whoever created those customers, those only it should be displayed. So I have selected as a created ID. So for that purpose only, I have selected created ID, but it should not display in the response. We don't need that response, right? So I have given as a ignore from response. So here in the where condition name, just give as a C1. So created ID, then it is equal to the session. remember, if you are taking as a created array, then you need to select app user UID. Okay, if you given relation with the user data set, then only select UID. Okay. And also, admin can see the list, right?
We can see all that.
So then give rule. So I'm just giving role.code. If it is equal to accounts
Accountant. The
10 term.
accountant.
Just come to the rows. I hope you guys understood this one. Why I have selected app user UID. Any doubts for this one, regarding?
Maheshwari, Pravina here, sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
If the freshers were aware of this data which you are doing now, just ask them to answer the questions.
Yeah, freshers only I'm asking them.
I would like all the freshers to answer. Maheshwari, mention the names and ask the question so that they'll be able to answer it.
Okay. Akhil? Yeah, can you say this one? Did you understand this? Why I have selected app user instead of UID?
No, ma'am. Yeah. Created IDs. Okay. No, ma'am.
Risha, what?
Ma'am, can you explain?
Harisha, rather asking in the chat, ask directly over call.
Ma'am, due to noise, I just asked in chat. Sorry. Ma'am, can you please explain again?
Okay. So here I have selected a created ID, right? In the list data set, whoever created that created ID will be generated automatically, right? This you know, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that created ID will come. We have a user and app user data sets, correct, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Both data sets we have, but when whatever we have selecting or any users, if you are generating a user, if you are creating a user, then we have that data will be inserted in user data set and as well as app user dataset. This created ID is related with app user dataset. It is not related with user dataset. If you take UID, then this relation is with user dataset. Okay, these are two different datasets. Understood? If
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
not understood, then Mahesh sir will explain in the better way. Sir,
Which one, Maheshwari?
this one's a created ID.
Harisha, is that clear or you want Mahesh to explain it again?
Ma'am, it's clear, ma'am.
Yes, please
The
mention it.
remaining people, all of you clear or you need more explanation?
Clear, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Ma'am, it's clear.
See, now if it's clear, they'll be asking some questions. So you should be ready to answer that. If you have any queries, just ask now itself. All the freshers do respond, please.
Okay, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. If I take here as a user relation, then what will happen? Then which one should I take?
UID.
UID, ma'am.
So one more thing. So user and app user. If we created a user, right? If I have created a one new user, then it is generated. Automatically, I have said that in app user table also, it is going to be insert. So in that case, both UIDs will be same, right? Then why I need to select this app user? If I select as a user also, then same UIDs will be there, right? In user and app user. Why I need to select this app user itself?
Ma'am, created ID is related with the user data set, right?
No,
You-
app user.
App user data set, right? So for
Mhm.
that reason, we need to select here app user.
App user.
Both for created ID and modified ID. It
ID
will
is
be related to app user table. So for any relation manually we given to any data set from user table, user data set, it's related to user data set. Clear?
yeah, clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about remaining? So see, please feel free. See, if other team is asking if you same questions, no issues. If you have different questions, please raise. So all are available here. You don't have a chance to get for any question answer here. Don't waste this time.
Okay, sir.
Sometimes it will be get issue. If you give user ID, it will work, but sometimes you will get a issue just because of those data sets is different, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
that's why sometimes it will get issue. So to avoid that issue, we need to select this app user.
Nikleshwar,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Nikleshwar, do you understand? Nikleshwar, do you understand, Nikleshwar?
Yes, sir, but I have little bit confusion.
So what's the confusion?
Sir?
What's your confusion? So where you are confusing?
So from usernames are like creating like that from there I have some confusion.
User.
Which username?
Are you saying about this or data set?
Yeah, this one, created ID.
Created ID, okay.
See, we have two tables, two data sets, Nikleshwar, user data set and app user data set. So Zerocode by default, if you even you won't mention any relation for any data set, Zerocode is keeping two relations to any data set. It's a created ID and modified ID to app user data set. So whatever data we have in created ID and modified ID IDs, that is related to app user data set. But it's default one, fixed one. So that is default Zerocode will do. So for any chance you want to give a relation to user data set. So these are depending on created ID, modified ID. If you want a business requirement that you want to give a different relation to a user data set, then you go for drag and drop user relation as a user and you give relation to user data set. So for any created ID, modified ID, you always choose select fields from user app user data set only, not from user data set. If you give relation to user data set, you choose user data set.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Bharadwaj, Akhil, Unara?
Yes, sir.
అర్థమైందా
Yes,
అండి?
sir.
Questions ఏం లేవా మీకు?
Yes, sir.
వస్తూనే అంటారు టాస్క్ ఇస్తున్నప్పుడు చాలా క్వశ్చన్స్ వస్తాయి. ఓకే, సో that's all for today's session. We'll continue from next week. Maheshwari, where you left, where you paused up to?
Okay, I'll just generate it, sir. Skip and generate. Give the validation.
Complete it.
Sir, sorry for the disturbance. Actually, I have one doubt.
Hmm.
Like whenever we are putting a table in the form,
Mhm.
at that time in the list, I want that table data, like in the grid. In the grid, I want the table data also. For that, in the list API, I selected as a separate call. Whenever I selected separate call, it's not showing the table data. Only form data is it's showing. If I remove that separate call, then it's showing. But what is the reason? I don't know about that.
For separate call, we need to mention a display format because it is coming a array, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So maybe it is not configured in the widget.
Okay.
So you
No,
need
ma'am.
to separately.
Actually, I didn't create it with widget. Widget is creating all
Yeah,
itself
Lakshmi.
only.
I
So
think
I
it's
tried.
sorry to disturb you, Lakshmi. I think it's better someone will connect with you and show you that, so that they can like and we can answer it. So
Okay. Okay.
so after this call, you connect with. So you're working with Ahmed right now, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
You can connect with Ahmed. Ask her same question. She will help you.
Okay. 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 Sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I should continue.
Okay, sir. So now the pages is delivered. Okay, sir.
Show that where you go and view the application, user application.
We need to give this answer. You can see the first one. And the same thing, you need to give that validations and required messages, all those things. For pattern validations also, I need to give it.
Okay. Okay, Maheshwari. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for your
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah. Ravina, can we end up the session?
Yes, yes. Thanks,
Okay,
Mahesh. Thanks,
great.
Maheshwari.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
ma'am.
ma'am.